You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
All right, well, I never hit record, so we're starting right now.
Okay, good.
Gentlemen.
Is it? Hello.
There's one.
Hello.
Yeah. Buenos tardes, Becker.
Tardes. Yes, is that Spanish?
I think so. Castilian.
Musta.
So, Becker, you're still in Costa Rica. John, where in the world are you?
I'm in Anchorage. I'm still just in Anchorage. I have a beautiful view of the mountains.
Beautiful. So you're at work?
I am at home.
Oh, at home. Okay.
I don't want to give away my address because I don't know if there's any crazy stalkers out there in our fan base. So I got to be vague. But I will say I'm looking at the mountains. So if anybody wants to go back through every episode of Near the Wild and try to triangulate my location based on what I'm looking at.
To what end?
I had assumed to come, I don't know, put me in a hole and make me put lotion on my skin or whatever.
All right.
Whatever people want.
Whatever you want, John.
Whatever fans do nowadays to show their support.
And Becker, you're
I am in Samara, Costa Rica.
Samara, Costa
which
Rica.
Is about 3 hours south of our home. For those of you triangulating.
Oh, you're at you're daring people to come down. Where are you? You're not at your house where we usually. That's usually where the third tip of the third point of the triangle sits. Where are you now?
Yep. The point is just a little farther south, and it is in the more southern region. So there's more, I guess, humidity would be the word.
What are you guys doing there?
Well, this is the house that we always rent down here. That's the one that we debated it this time because this house is so beautiful. If Bart and I were talking the other night and we were looking out at the view and everything, and we said, you wonder those people that if they sold children to pornography or something, and you went, that's horrible, dude. You're the worst person ever. He goes, yeah, but I got this house. And you go, yeah. And when you see it, you go, yeah, I would probably strangle a bunch of hookers or something for this. Yeah.
It sounds cavernous. It sounds like you are.
It sounds like a palace.
Buckingham
you're
Palace.
recording in a marble ballroom.
It really is. And we had the girl I work with, Autumn, she came down and they thought it was going to be a house. I don't know what they thought, but they walked in and went, what the fuck? And it's to watch three girls all whip out their phone and try to take a picture of a place like this was very funny.
So, John, you brought up a good point. I'm hearing it too. I'm assuming it is tile floor.
Yeah, it's all tile.
Yeah, because it's a huge slap back, kind of a little bit of a reverb. Not kind of tight, not too loose. Would you say, John? If we're gonna.
Yeah, we usually try to keep Becker in a padded cell.
Yeah.
So
right.
I just want you to be careful. Be careful in there, Becker.
Or tapestries. He usually wants tapestries underfoot and on the walls.
Maybe he could put some quilts on the wall, or maybe just some used egg cartons.
Then they're gonna lose their deposit. It's clearly in there. It says no carpet on the walls.
I like it. I think it gives the podcast a sense of place.
Sure, it gives distance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you guys have ever been to this palace, you'd know that this bathroom alone costs probably more than most people's homes.
Are you in the bathroom? Is that what this is?
I am in the bathroom. Yeah, because well, here's the deal, guys. It's all tile everywhere. I was in the bedroom, but then the air conditioner's running, so that was over my head. So I tried to go outside, and Ggreg noticed that you could hear live music being played because the party doesn't stop. And they said, "Yeah, go ahead and do your podcast." I go, they're working on it actually. But yeah, it's just one of those complicated ones where you just go, "Okay, I'm going to do a podcast." They go, "Okay, do it."
And we'll get through it.
Okay.
We'll get through it.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about Costa Rica, did you get to go on your gyrocopter excursion?
I'm going to go tomorrow. Becky's dad went on it though.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to go so bad, and he was leaving town, and we called him, and they didn't call us back, and then he was going to book his shuttle to go back to Liberia to the airport to fly home. And when we were talking to her, she goes, "Oh, well, we were trying to get a hold of you because the gyrocopter guys available this afternoon if you're interested. And we're like, yeah. So I took him, threw him on the gyrocopter. He had a blast. But you couldn't bring your phone. He couldn't bring his phone because he wanted to take pictures, but you have to have a strapped camera if you're going to do it.
Oh, so it doesn't bounce around or anything?
The guy's German. You know how safe stuff sounds in German? It's amazing. He goes, well, the thing is with the phone, if it flew up, hit the router, we would all die. So, bring the phone. I don't know why I gave him a Spanish accent, but yeah, he's heavily German.
He's been there a long time.
They brought one down this time, and it's got a shell on it. It looks like a goddamn space age submarine with a propeller. They flew it over the Andes. They brought it from Chile. It's a 2-seater nothing. There's a motor and a propeller, and they flew it over the Andes. I'm trying to tell you guys, immigration's going to get tough.
So is that the one that Rami went in?
Jared went in.
Oh, Jared went in.
I want to ask Becker about the Costa Rican zoos. Somebody posted something on Facebook that it sounds not true, that Costa Rica is closing all of its zoos.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
And they're releasing their animals in the wild?
Well, I don't know. The restaurants have been having incredible sales, though, so I don't know. But I do know they're getting rid of the zoos, which is really funny if you think about it, because, the economy's fucked up everywhere in the world, let's be honest. But down here, it's just as bad. And I got a feeling if you just open your zoos and go, we don't have to feed them, let them go.
I was just going to ask if why are you closing them?
Why are they closing them?
They're expensive to keep open?
They are, but they also they've gone almost completely carbon free on energy, and they're kind of getting kind of environmentally.
Well, it is an economy based on coffee and ecotourism, so that might have something to do with it too. Although I don't know, I'm
not sure what the draw was to go to a zoo when you're in a zoo. The wild animals, it's kind of like Alaska. You're going to show me a moose? I can see one over there.
Yeah. John, is that something that will affect your life? Costa Rica zoos closing down?
Who knows? It might affect my life when the butterfly flaps its wings and causes a tsunami on the other side of the world. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it affects me much. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, now you're going to date yourself because you'll be like, John, have you ever been to Costa Rica? Oh, were you there when the zoos were open? You'll be like, no. Because he didn't take Matt up on his offer. You release all these zoo animals, they're hardened. They've been pent up. They're not like normal socialized animals anymore.
Yeah, animal crime goes up. There's a spike once a zoo closes. That's fact.
Yeah.
No, I watched that documentary on Making of a Giraffe, and it was very harsh. That giraffe did nothing wrong.
Just a product of his environment.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should try to get. I gotta get down to Costa Rica before they close all the zoos. That's now my new time limit. Like, I gotta go visit one of these zoos. I'm sure there are many other things. Have you ever been to the zoos, Becker?
To be honest, I don't even know where there is a zoo. So it was one of those things. I didn't know they had them. I didn't know they had places you could change clothes. I just did it on the beach.
I went to a zoo in just north of. Well, I think it was in Guadalajara, Mexico, and that was a pretty sad experience. Because that was, you go to zoos now, you go to like the Woodland Park Zoo in Seattle. I mean, they really have these enclosures that kind of mimic. I mean, at least from the standpoint of the spectators, it looks like you're looking at the savannah. From the animals' point of view, they're probably looking at chain link and warning signs and electric shock signs. But from our side, it really looks, like they've really gone to an extent to make it look like you're looking across the savannah. Mexican zoos that I went to, and this was quite some time ago, it was about 20 years ago. It is basically a cement pit in which there is an animal put in there, and then whatever happens, throwing food at it, taunting it. I do remember there was a guy cleaning out an alligator pit, which was really just a sunken pit, cement pit. And there was one guy with a hose squirting any debris and feces down to a drain on one end of the pit. And the other guy had what looked like a tennis racket on a long bamboo pole that he held in front of the snout of the crocodile.
Well, that's actually it's a very specialized crocodile taming tool.
It was I don't know what I was really watching. If I was watching the alligator or the crocodile, or if I was watching what was probably going to happen probably once a month.
Future episodes of Faces of Death.
Yeah. I mean, really, it was less of a zoo and more of a production facility for Faces of Death.
Yeah,
I'm lucky enough to only have gone to like really good zoos, like the San Diego Zoo and places like that. But I see pictures of people who go to like Thailand and places in Southeast Asia, and they get their picture taken of them like sitting on top of like a live tiger.
Yeah.
And
they drug those. Did you know that? Because JJ was over. He goes, yeah, they're drugged out of their minds.
Oh, they're just feeding that tiger Benadryl like all day.
Yeah, she said it was more like weekend at Bernie's.
So people in flip-flops can come like sit on them and get their picture taken.
Well, I told you guys that time I sat down for a photo with the orangutan from Every Which Way But Loose. Did I tell you about that?
What? Clyde?
Yeah.
You are friends of Clyde?
Listen,
Greg. Why isn't he a guest on the podcast?
Well, it didn't end up at like a story that where we exchanged numbers. What happened was my brother and I were at I think it was the Tropicana, and there was a spot before the showrooms or something where you could there was this like stand, and it said that Becker, do you remember the guy's name? There's the guy who he would bring the orangutans on like the Johnny Carson show and stuff.
Bobby Bussini.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. So he and his chimp pals would be there at a certain time, and we went by there, and sure enough, there's this fucking orangutan and this guy standing there, and you pay like $10 and you get a photo. And my brother's standing on one side, and I'm standing on the other, and this ape put its arms around like draped, like he always does, and then the guy's standing right there, and he's like putting his arm around my shoulder, and all of a sudden I feel this animal like pull me in closer to where like there was no way I was going to stop what was happening. And I was thinking it was no big deal. And the trainer, he broke into action like it was fucking serious. It was serious. I could tell just his movements were like, get the fuck out of the way. And then he, disciplined the animal, and we left. We didn't get the fucking picture. But
did you get the $10 back?
Yeah, well, you don't pay until you get it. But honestly, man, this thing had a hold of my neck that I thought, man, he's getting a little friendly. And, the trainer just whipped around and fucking took care of business before my head came off, Yeah, those things are fucking strong, man.
Yeah, no, I would hire one.
Orangutans make me sad.
Why?
They just look, like too close to being human. And
but they're ugly humans.
Yeah, they're ugly. Ugly humans deserve.
They make me sad.
Compassion, empathy,
compassion. Yeah. I think I read this like Vice story about a whorehouse in Thailand where they had an orangutan, where there's the most popular lady at the whorehouse. I don't know what that says about the other girls there, but it was like this whorehouse was famous for having this orangutan that they would shave and put makeup on, and you could have sex with it.
What?
And what? And it was a very popular thing apparently, and you can look it up. There's like a bunch of news stories. I forget the name of the orangutan.
I'm not getting on that list. I'm not getting on that list.
Yeah, I'm not clicking on
story.
that.
It is by far the saddest thing I've ever read.
Ugh.
It's like one of those things where you're just like, oh, people are garbage. People are just complete garbage.
Yeah, that's it. That's when you just check out. You're like, I'm done.
Sadder than crocodile tears? Orangutan tears. Tinted with rouge and eyeshadow.
Well, the orphans are the ones who have to shave them, so there is a sadder story.
Yeah, he fancies himself a star. That orangutan. He starts bossing around.
You know what, John? You can judge me all you want for that orangutan, but I got this house and it's amazing.
He knew what he was getting into. We all were adults. Except for the kids I sold into slavery.
You know,
Yeah, there's no way he's going to family reunions. Like, so what have you been up to? Now that you moved to the big city, it's like, I'm an architect.
So anything wild or crazy or noteworthy, Becker, that you can talk about in Costa Rica this week?
You know, the weather's been really hot. It has been very hot. It's been beautiful and a good trip. And we bring a lot of pasty white people, and they've been going home very red. I think we all know Sonia. You remember how Sonia tans? She tans.
She's very fair.
She's red all over now. Yeah. And so it's been good. And the girls, Autumn and a couple of her friends came down because I told them always come down, take a break, and they did. And they're off looking at. Remember the Crocodile Bridge? Did you ever go there, Greg?
No, I don't remember it.
It's the one. It's got like 200 crocodiles swimming in this river, and it's like a huge tourist attraction. But I told them, go see the crocodiles, and then they're going to some Tortuga Park to look at turtles, but. I didn't want to explain to him that turtles come out at night, so I don't know what they're going to see.
Yeah,
it's a good scam.
The only crocodiles I remember is when we had to wade across that small, like 12 feet, 15 feet across a small little creek or river that went about up to your hips, and halfway across is when you told me, there are crocodiles in here. So that's the only crocodiles I remember being possibly near.
What kind of bridge? What kind of bridge is it? I imagine like a rickety old
It's a concrete bridge, and it's a concrete bridge, and when a truck goes over, it bounces, and you freak out. Yeah, I don't care who you are.
So it's a bridge that the public uses to travel back and forth, but then you can also walk on it and look at all the crocodiles down below? Yeah,
it's got a little walkway on both sides, but you look down and Becky remembers it clear as a day. She saw it once. I've been down there like 3 times, but you look and you see a croc, and then you see another, and then they're 25 foot long, some of them. Yes, I did say 25 feet long.
That's pretty big, Becker.
And they eat cows, that's and the large. Government pays.
They eat cows? 25 foot long? They eat cows. Well, I eat cow too, so I mean that doesn't.
Yeah, they do it in one bite.
I'm only 5.5 feet long, and I can eat a cow.
Yeah, big fucking deal.
Yeah, but you get just nauseous. All you can think is if I fell in right now, and the things about waist high, the protection wall, and you go, if I fell in, that would be the worst way to die. I think it's worse than burning to death. I think that would be the worst.
But great publicity for the bridge.
But because I think you'd still have a chance because you're laying on top of one when you land, and you go, well, I'm probably okay. And then you see more coming. And then you're like.
You could pull the James Bond move and run really quick on their backs.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably do that for a little bit.
I mean, how bad is the fall from the bridge? How high up are you?
It's only about 20 feet.
So you're hoping that
you'd be alive.
You're hoping that you would break your neck. Before
you probably belly flop.
Probably just like break a leg, and then it'd be even harder to get away.
You don't want to be alive when you land. You want to be dead.
I would ball up and cannonball just to improve the odds, I guess. They're like, what are you doing? But no, it's really cool. See, who needs a fucking zoo when you got a bridge?
Yeah, really. Alligators? I mean, no wonder the zoos are going out of biz. They got to shut down. I am fascinated by crocodiles and alligators. I did.
Yeah, they don't have alligators. Whatever. Is it the American alligator? Whatever they have, it's either alligators or crocodiles. I don't think they have crocodiles. They don't have crocodiles. They only have the American alligator, and they have millions of them.
The alligator, does it have the pointier snout? Or is that the crocodile? Well, it's one or the other. I just can't remember which one.
I think alligators have the pointy snout.
I don't know why I'm fascinated with them. When I was living in Florida, I mean, you could run into them wherever. I mean, you see cops and some of those alligator shows where they've got them, people's pools and shit like that. But there's a lot of retention ponds for the weather that all of a sudden sneaks up. You got hurricanes and shit like that, and that water goes somewhere. Well, those ponds, the gators can live in there because they don't have to eat that often. A cat comes by or a dog or a cow, right? But
but the other thing is golf courses.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
golf
anywhere
courses get hit with them.
Anywhere where there's water.
But they end up killing those old guys out there fucking, they're a dentist for 20 years, and all they find is a pair of plaid pants with poop in it.
He ate everything but the shorts that he shit in. An alligator's not dumb.
No.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have
okay.
to be the fastest. You just have to be faster than the guy you're golfing with.
Could you see the autopsy though? They got the alligator up and they find certain things and they go, was he playing at Titleist 4? Yeah, I think that's him.
So I don't think it's fair to say that the crocodile is 25 feet long if like 10 feet of that is tail.
Yeah, but that's the serious part is that tail. That tail.
That's the part they said is good eating.
It is. Actually,
I'm not that worried about the tail. I'm more worried about the teeth in the mouth. Getting whipped by a crocodile tail would be not pleasant, but
that's what would knock you off your feet, and then he comes around for the 1-2 punch. Is the tail?
Did you never, Greg? Did you never have a skip it, that thing you put on your ankle and you like hop around it?
Yeah, but I wasn't good at it, and that's why I knew to stay away from the crocodiles. So like, I mean, you like Chinese jump rope or something? You think it's going to prepare you for a gator attack?
This is your plan to train?
Everything adds up.
I do know that when you travel east to west in the lower part of, I think it's across from Fort Lauderdale heading west, there's Alligator Alley. And then along the road, they have a fence to keep the alligators from getting out on the highway. And I've heard stories about gators getting hit by semi-trucks. I mean, a big gator crossing the street, all of a sudden, because the asphalt's really warm, and a semi-truck comes by and there's nothing they can do. I've never seen a video. I'm sure it's out there, but that was because once in a while you would see pieces of a gator on the side of the road. But
are you allowed to keep it?
I don't know if you'd want it. Becker, you can have whatever you want on the side of the road, but I don't think Becky wouldn't let you take it home.
You're not picking up that gator. But it's one of those things where you got to really be aware of wildlife down here, and just be aware and be safe.
I think where you guys were on the Pacific side on the coast, you're in an area where I don't think we ever really ran into any snakes when we were down there.
Well, what it is during the hot season, the snakes all lay low. Yeah. Once the rainy season hits, the snakes come out. That's what everyone told me. They go, you got to stay for the rainy season. That's when snakes come out. I go, you just convinced me to never come during the rainy season.
Why what kind of snakes do they have? Like pythons?
Everything.
Things that'll strangle you?
That fertile lance. The fertile lance is one that jumps 15 feet.
That's the one that
poisonous snake.
Yeah, that's the scary one. Every region has the most poisonous snake, and the fer de lance, is that what it's called, Becker?
Yeah, it's French, I think.
Yeah, that is the one where even the babies are like super potent. Their venom, and those are the ones that I think they're not really common in where Becker's at. But as you move from the coast to like the foothills and stuff, that's where they're more common. Yeah, we saw those when we went up to the nature preserve up in the Cloud City or whatever that's called up there to the volcano and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy though. There are plenty of snakes. And reptiles, and
little frogs that'll kill you.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit, man.
I always think I don't have a problem with snakes, but then I see a snake and like my skin starts to crawl, and I get that like horrible feeling in my stomach, like it's gonna kill me. So maybe I have a fear of snakes.
Yeah, I definitely do. Not a fear.
It's not a
healthy fear. I have a healthy fear. A healthy fear is, they exist, and you create a wide berth when no one's around or in the area.
We were putting up our pool, and we put the tarp down. And I warned Romy. I said, "You gotta be careful because the scorpion, they love like covered tarp." So we were moving the tarp, and I said, "Be careful because they'll get under there and you won't see it. Be careful." So I pull up the tarp, and there's the biggest tarantula I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was like a cartoon. It's twice as big as my hand, and he takes off running the other way. Well, the tarp's wet, so I try to run like a cartoon, and they fall. And he thought I broke my arm or something, because I felt just like concrete, just boom. And the spider was running the other way.
But it was
a
the tarantulas aren't so bad because That's not like a snake. The tarantula is kind of.
But Ggreg, this thing was huge.
Okay, but honestly, that thing's gonna mosey on towards you, whereas a snake is going to, slither with a little bit more efficiency to catch you than a tarantula. A tarantula doesn't move fast.
I could have died from razor burn with this thing. It had just big hairy legs. I was like, I'm gonna die.
I'm looking at the Tico Times deadliest, the most dangerous creatures in Costa Rica, and it doesn't say anything about tarantulas, but it does say the Brazilian wandering spider. Ooh. You got to look out for that.
Yeah,
the most poisonous spider, and it'll hide in your boots.
Yeah, fuck the spiders, man. The spiders and the scorpions, they just don't fucking play fair. Cause like that thing where they can slip into your slipper and get up late at night to take a leak. It's bullshit. It's not a level playing field. And, and just the idea of, Tracy had that caterpillar that crawled up along her neck and she rubbed it in and she still has marks from that thing. And that was months ago. That there's like no fair game. There's no time where they like kind of back off, like sleeping. I'm always afraid I'm going to I'm going to wake up with, two spider legs on my tongue and go, where the fuck is the rest of it? Yeah, I'm not going to go sleeping with a mask on my face. I'm not to that point, but it gives me the willies when I think about it. Cause there's bugs everywhere out here.
If the spiders aren't enough, there's also the bullet ant, which apparently has the most painful bite of any insect. They can cause 24-hour long pain, worse than being shot.
Worse than being shot?
With a gun.
An ant? I've been bitten by like a fire ant in Florida, and that sucks because that lives with you for a while. That's like a couple of weeks, and it goes down, and then you notice that you still got that bump. It stays for a while, man. It becomes a friend.
I got bit by one of those, and it's like a bee sting, and it's the most painful bee sting in the world. And I realized there were 300 or 1,000 of them running right in front of where that one bit me. So had I made one more step, the story would be different.
You'd be famous, Becker.
Oh shit! There's also fucking. You guys have jaguars?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I saw a jaguar 2 years ago. We had a jaguar in a tree.
What are you doing down there, Becker? Do you have a death wish?
Yeah, John, you got to quit looking, man. You just keep unpeeling an onion here, but layer by layer. You're never gonna head down.
I
thought it was bad here with the bears and the freezing temperatures and the angry moose. This is.
It's the jaguar though was amazing. It was like right there, and it dawned on me. I go, I don't know. I'm putting a flashlight in its face. And I'm going, and then it disappeared behind the tree. I go, do they attack? And he took off the other way. Thank God.
Nope, you did it. You did it right, Becker. The jaguars, they hate being interrogated. You gotta shine out.
No, I figured
ask them tough questions.
Yeah, I was going. Where's your papers? I need to see your papers.
Well, I've never heard of bullet ants, and I think if you see a jaguar, you're lucky, Becker. Because I think they're probably. They're probably kind of just scoping you out and then going to split.
Yeah, they do their own thing, but they're amazing. And when you see it and like how fast he like jumped up the hill in 2 jumps, and I was like, I don't think I could outran that.
Then you realize how serious it fucking was. How that animal made a decision that affected your life.
He could have made it to the house before me. That was the problem I had.
Well, that's yeah. Well, John, I hope you don't have nightmares now. Bullet ants and jaguars.
God. But I think we know why they don't need a zoo.
Yeah, this is definitely we're finding it out now.
They're protecting the other animals in the zoo
from the jaguar and the bullet ants.
Yeah, it sounds awful out there in the wild.
The zoo is keeping the other creatures alive.
Yeah,
from being completely decimated.
This is the one country where you go to and you don't want to see the wildlife. You're like, no, just want the pool and I'm good.
Yeah, the one thing I was always worried about was sea snakes, because it seems like you're very vulnerable in the water, and it seems like a sea snake could really that could hit you and you wouldn't even know it. You might feel a sting on your back and you thought, what the fuck was that? And then all of a sudden you're foaming at the mouth and can't control your body. So
yeah, all sea snakes are poisonous too.
Well, I treat any snake as if it's poisonous. Period.
Yeah, but we were talking about it to one guy. What happened was we were in the water swimming with boogie boards, and one guy he thought it was the strap to the boogie board, so he went to flip it, and he threw a snake in front of all of us, and we're like, what the fuck? He goes, oh, I'm sorry. And later we went in, and the guy goes, there's no non-poisonous sea snake. It's just how bad it's going to be. Yeah. That's all you had going for you. And then we never went out with that guy again.
I feel lucky that I just got maybe almost strangled by an orangutan now. That seems pretty simple compared to having a sea snake thrown at me.
Ggreg, I didn't even know I had to worry about sea snakes.
Oh, John, I'm telling you, it's a blast a minute down here. I'm telling you.
Oh my God. Your adrenaline's just pumping all the time.
When I go to the bathroom, I bring a little noose with dental floss. I make a noose just in case I got to catch something. I'm just like, or kill myself. Oh. Yeah.
And apparently so because of El Nino, the waters in California are getting warmer, so they're finding sea snakes in California now.
Oh yeah, this is
those are called agents.
Yeah, El Nino is like every 4 or 5 years. I don't know. We shouldn't even talk about this. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Let's talk science, guys. Let's get real.
It was always a thing when I was growing up that whatever happened weather-wise, when I was in high school, whatever happened weather-wise, it was okay with us as long as there was a better chance that there was going to be good surf. Because that's basically what we did from sophomore through, a couple of years after high school. So it didn't matter. Like, environmentally, no matter what happened, if it resulted in better waves, then that was fucking cool with us. So I don't remember El Nino being like a big thing that I worried about when I lived in California.
We got a whole bunch of sea snakes coming in from the south.
Yeah,
great waves.
Yeah, but if all of a sudden it's a 3 to 6 foot swell coming in from the south, sea snakes or not, I mean, wax up your board, John. Let's go.
Oh man,
well, Hawaii's having record waves. Right now, Hawaii's having, and there's actually surfers from Costa Rica that said they're flying over to Hawaii to see if they can catch some of the biggest waves of this century.
Well, I mean, that's always been a thing. When big waves hit somewhere, there are guys that are on a plane within an hour when they find out that waves are breaking somewhere.
But how do you like to be house sitting for this guy? Going, all right, well, I'll watch your place, but when are you going to be back?
He might not come back.
No, exactly.
Guys, do yourself a favor and don't Google sea snake bites.
Oh yeah, why?
That is rough. That is something you do not want.
It's worse than cleft palate nachos?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty bad.
So what's going on in Anchorage right now, John?
Everything.
Phil Becker in. He's been gone for 2 weeks now.
Yeah. What's going on, John? Give me the skinny.
Just about every business is getting robbed. We have a rash of armed robberies going on.
We touched on that last week. It was it was like an Arby's. It was all fast food, I believe, and they locked some people into a walk-in refrigerator.
Yep, they're still at it. Now it's a couple of liquor stores, value liquor. So I don't think anybody's been arrested yet.
I saw a bus driver got attacked.
Yeah, bus driver got attacked. I'm not.
Oh, and didn't a Good Samaritan pull a gun on a guy with a gun?
Oh yeah, that was at the Fifth Avenue Mall.
A guy who makes pizzas pulled a gun on somebody with a gun.
Why is a pizza
used
guy?
To make pizzas?
Why does a pizza artist have a gun?
He's no hero. He said that. That was his quote. I'm no hero.
I'm just a pizza guy
with a gun.
So why?
Yeah,
but why is that guy? Because I was in where were we? It was a grocery store out here, right? And it's not our regular one. It's in Sierra Vista, and I don't know how things fucking roll in Sierra Vista. But this guy is in the 15 items or less line, and he has a fucking holster and a firearm. And he doesn't have a badge or like a polo shirt that says, FBI or something like that. This is just a fucking dude. This is a civilian with a fucking firearm and I get it that this state, I believe, I think this is a concealed state where you don't even have to show it. But it was kind of a weird thing. I'm not used to seeing, tomatoes on sale and then, someone packing heat in a supermarket.
He's in the 15 or less aisle. Probably used to have a roommate.
Well,
you never know where evil is going to strike. And you got to be ready in the produce section.
I've read that article about the guy who drew down on the kid who pulled a gun because the kid had robbed, allegedly had stolen some goods from a clothing store, and a security guard went after him. And as the security guard was trying to detain him, the kid pulled a gun from his waistband, and then that's when the not a hero pizza artist pulled his gun. And I thought, how did in the split second, who knows who's on what team? This is not shirts and skins out on the ball court where you can easily identify who's for who. You can tell the security guard what he's doing, but the security guard now sees this other guy draw a gun. Who the fuck knows what's going on?
Well, I just like that there was like nearly a shootout in a crowded mall in the middle of the day over some clothing.
Ugg boots and a stupid windbreaker.
In the Buckle clothing store. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Wait, sounds like Buckle should sell shoes and belts.
Bulletproof vests.
Well, apparently. Yeah,
Forever 21.
Well, thank God that the Buckle clothing store didn't lose any money.
Yeah. And this guy's packing heat to steal fucking t-shirts? What the fuck is that?
Clothing prices are out of control. We're talking $40 for a t-shirt. You got to bring a gun.
Back to school time, man. These guys are under pressure.
But the problem with stealing clothes, especially at gunpoint, is they can identify you. Yeah, he's wearing the new shirt there, and he's wearing those pants. I can describe him exactly.
So yeah, we got that going on. So everyone's got guns and stealing things around here. Sarah Palin is endorsed Donald Trump.
Big surprise,
so,
right?
Alaska has spoken.
I'm surprised I haven't heard from her on the campaign trail. They probably kind of like mothballed her like George W. Like, sit this one out. You're good. We'll give you a call when we need you.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was asking who she was endorsing.
Yeah.
Does she still have doesn't she have like a website or video, like online show that is like subscription only?
Yeah, she had a website that was, she was doing daily video logs and, updating it with, human interest stories that were, had a conservative bend to it. But I think something went down, like they shut that end down, that subscription.
Yeah, she quit. In the middle of it, she quit. Just like everything she's ever done.
Oh, go figure.
Does the Sarah Palin endorsement like hurt his chances? Like, is this a good thing for us or a bad thing? I don't know.
I think it's probably right along the lines of the people that are like in the Trump camp already. I just they did something in Parliament today or yesterday where they were debating, like in Parliament in the UK, they were talking about the discussion was, should we let Trump be able to travel into Great Britain? And it was fucking hilarious. It's got to be up online somewhere. I'll look for it. I'll see if I can put a link. But, they are basically just slamming this guy. What an idiot he is. And if you ever listen to anything when Parliament is discussing it, it is fucking fiery. And these people are all calling him such an idiot. It's like, if he becomes president,
but he's so close to becoming president.
And they're our friends. We couldn't be closer to another country than that country. And they are discussing right now about whether he should be allowed to put foot on British soil.
Yeah. Kane West was first and now, but they also
Kanye
today,
West,
I saw
they would be lucky to have Kanye West visit their little shit country.
Well, it's interesting. They'll let Kanye West come over, but they won't let Trump.
But they also were discussing today that Muslims who go to the UK, if they don't learn English, they're going to deport them.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Yeah, that was today. They're debating it.
Parliament was debating that?
Just Muslims or?
Yeah, Muslims. And I'm like going, you're kind of getting a little Trumpy there, aren't you?
Yeah, it's very Trumpy.
I don't know.
Huh. Is there so when refugees come to a country, do they have to fill out paperwork and say I'm a Muslim?
I don't know if you have to declare. I don't think there's a religious declaration.
Do they just assume everybody coming from Syria is a Muslim?
Well, I don't know, John. I don't know what the process is. I know that the process to get into the United States is not as simple and slipshod as the Republicans would have you think.
Mm-hmm.
And to have the Attorney General have him have to personally, the United States Attorney General actually have him say yes or no on every single person applying for refugee status, which is basically what they passed, is absolutely ridiculous. It's a waste of his fucking time.
He's not already busy doing stuff.
Yeah. It takes a while to actually get into the United States. We basically take in 1 million, immigrants every year. And that's just basically, that's what the number is. The problem is that with this thing in Syria, they're trying to bring in more people. Mm-hmm. I don't know why all of a sudden we became Meet the Press.
Yeah, but it's interesting. We're living in weird times.
Yeah, but you really can't do anything about the immigration problem because the problem stems from where they're fleeing from. That they would much rather stay in their hometown where they grew up, where they know everything, where they've lived. But the problem is that things get so bad that people have to leave. And that's what I don't like is it's so bad that these people are willing to jump in 80 people into a life raft built for 12. They're that desperate that they fucking have to, that means it's pretty fucking bad over there. Wherever they're coming from.
Yeah. But if they come in, I just think we need a process where they, you have to live in Detroit for a year.
Fix the water problem in Flint.
Pensacola, Florida.
But Becker, they want to come to places that are better than where they're leaving.
That's a hard sell.
I think that would be a good deterrent.
Yeah.
And they're going to be the only one without a gun. So I don't know what their plan is.
Man, speaking of Detroit, I was reading about the Flint, Michigan, the water thing. That is crazy.
Yeah. That governor should step down because it goes all the way back. I mean, they were warned that they weren't doing this right. There wasn't due diligence before they switched the water over. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, Flint, Michigan switched their water from Detroit supply to a lake supply, which is closer. And when they did that, this was all done because the mayor had the ability, because of some legislation that was passed, to make these decisions without going to the voters. And when they moved to the lake water, they didn't do the due diligence to figure out that you have to treat the water because it's a higher acidity. So when they moved that water through the pipelines, all the infrastructure of 100,000 inhabitants of Flint, the protective coating in the pipes actually was eroded, and lead was leaching into the water for the past year and a half. And all the residents were drinking and bathing in that water. And there's what happened was a pediatrician recognized the levels of lead in the kids had spiked.
Right. So for the first time ever, actually, you should throw the baby out with the bathwater.
You're gonna have to. And while they did this, they figured out, hey, you know what? That old pipeline coming from Detroit, we don't need it anymore. And they dismantled it and sold it. So now they're back to Detroit water, but now the infrastructure has all been, fucked up because of the high, acidity of the water, that now it's going to be I heard today, $750 million to actually repair the, infrastructure that has been damaged to 100,000 homes. That's crazy. And they've got people that were warning them, professionals were saying that, look, this is a problem. And the people in charge, the government officials in charge were saying, one time the mayor said, relax. It's okay. That was his thing. Relax. Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
Right, just relax and let me poison your families, all right? It's not, you're making it into a thing.
I assume he doesn't live in that area.
No. And that's the whole thing I live in an area in Bisbee. It's a mining town. Like I've said this before, we know not to drink the water here. I mean, you just don't, right? And I don't think it's as bad as what they had in Flint. But I mean, they used arsenic to leach out all of the copper for years here. So we just know not to drink the water. We drink bottled water. But yeah, no one knew anything. Bottled water from Flint.
That's I'm gonna start collecting all the water from Flint and I'm gonna sell it as like weed killer.
Yeah, be good. Keep away the bullet ants and the jaguars.
Yeah. Oh, Becker, you're gonna want to buy a case of this Flint water
No, we're gonna make John's beer with it.
Yeah, that might help. The lead might actually kill some of the other stuff I got in there.
Hoppy and a little Leady.
It's a heavy beer. It's a really heavy beer. So you probably only want one. My birthday is Saturday.
Oh,
nice.
Another year.
So
are you drinking?
Wait, last year didn't you go to the birdhouse? Becker, weren't you in town?
Wasn't I? No, I couldn't have been.
Yeah, unless your birthday changes, Becker, John, do you flip it around a little bit?
Same time every year.
I
did go to the birdhouse, and my awesome girlfriend Stephanie had actually planned a surprise party for me in the swing bar, I had no idea what's going on. So I showed up in the birdhouse, and only I had one friend there, so I was like, nobody likes me. And then we walked over to the swing bar, and a bunch of people were waiting for me, and we had a big party, and I drank too much while all the comedians took turns making fun of me.
Okay. That's
nice.
What I remember. Yeah, you did something. It was in the swing bar. That's right.
Yeah.
Podcast crasher. I'm crashing the podcast with me. Hey, I'm on the podcast. I'm crashing it. Come on.
Hey, man, take it easy. What about
What just happened?
Doug's leaving to go to LA, and he just crashed through the.
We don't have to pay him for that appearance, do we?
No.
Okay.
Podcast Crasher, sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace, build it beautiful. So what are the plans this year, John? I mean, you're still young enough that you celebrate your birthday, so.
Yeah, you got to plan it.
Yeah, I don't have plans. I have no plans. I'm probably gonna eat a bunch of garbage food and drink too much beer. That's all I've got so far.
What's your garbage food? Like, what would be the garbage food that you would go for?
Well, I'm doing a diet right now because I'm trying to get in shape. I've never been in shape my entire life, so I'm trying to get in shape before my body just decides not to let me get in shape ever.
Yeah, just to prevent you.
I'm working on it. So I've been eating actually really healthy during the week, and then on Saturdays I'll have some chocolate croissants and some nachos. I think those are my two favorite foods, probably chocolate croissants and nachos.
Tater tots with string cheese.
And wash it all down with some Flint water.
I'm telling you, if that's on a birthday,
so
might be your last.
During the week, what do you eat that makes it okay to eat chocolate croissants and nachos?
I'm going low carb all week.
Mm-hmm.
So basically 90% of what I'm eating is chicken and broccoli and maybe black beans, a lot of black beans.
Mm-hmm. Is that working?
And yeah, I've lost 9 pounds in 2 weeks.
And do you attribute it more to the broccoli and chicken, or to the fact that you get to go hog wild on chocolate croissants and nachos on the weekend?
Well, knowing I'm gonna make myself sick on Saturday helps me get through the week. So that
the reward is what's really making you stick to the diet during the week.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know if it helps or hurts, but it definitely makes it easier to eat broccoli all day.
The chocolate croissants, that's are they completely dipped, or is it just a drizzle on top?
No, you've never had a chocolate croissant? It's like a regular croissant, but in the middle it's got chocolate in it.
Oh, it's filled.
Oh, they fill it.
This is a filled, a delicious little pastry.
Yeah.
All right.
I've never had a dipped one, but I'd try it, I guess.
But maybe I'm way off thinking that you would dip it. I just thought of a chocolate donut. It looks like it's coated. So
It's like it's like like how they have ham and cheese croissants.
yeah, it's called a sandwich. I'm aware of it.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah. Sure. Replace the ham and cheese with chocolate.
Okay.
And then at the Paris Cafe Bakery just down the street from me, they also have they call them Swiss croissants, and they have chocolate and vanilla in them, and those are pretty great too.
What if you just stopped going to the Paris Cafe Bakery?
That's not really an option.
That's not an option.
Yeah. Is it on the way home both ways?
Yeah. I mean, life is short, Greg. You gotta
I understand.
eat chocolate croissants while you can.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, you walk in this bakery, they go, "Hey, John."
Like Cheers.
They know you.
Every day, I don't even get them to go. I just sit at the bar and eat like 6 of them.
There's a
And
bar.
they're like, you
inside
can't.
there?
We're not really made for eating them here. They're kind of a take and go thing. Like, no, I'm okay. I don't know how many I want yet, so just keep them coming.
Just keep them coming. I'll tell you when. Sir.
It's a sad day when you get cut off at the bakery.
You ever wait for them to open? You're just sitting there.
You're late. I've been standing here 10 minutes.
I just start waiting at like 10 p.m. waiting for the baker to show up at 2 a.m. to start cooking.
Are you gonna tell them it's your birthday? Like, hey, it's my birthday.
I do every single day.
Yeah.
Today's my birthday. If you want to throw something my way, it's just a little free. Never happens.
There is a German deli and bakery in Sierra Vista, which has like really good Yelp reviews. And I went there one time and I sat down and had this sandwich, and it seemed like half the store was closed. Like one of the big cases where they keep like where you would see all the cheeses and stuff. It clearly wasn't working. They were like they had office supplies in there or something. But the food,
so things are going good.
But the food was really good, and she made it, and then like it was kind of weird because I should have sat in a different position because I was sitting so that I could watch as other people came in, and like one other person came in and they spoke German the whole time, and I don't know if you guys. Can you tell when someone in another language is kind of talking about you? You know,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
I'm in Costa Rica.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you can't really, you can't like pick up on what they're saying, but you hear them talking and then all of a sudden they're looking at you and it's like, well, yes, I'm enjoying the schnitzel, but why am I included in your conversation? And I sat and I could see them. And then even when the customer left, who, by the way, ordered the same thing I ordered. So I was on the mark of getting something authentic. The lady was like looking at me eat. Now that made me uncomfortable. So I don't know. Maybe that's the way they do it over there. I don't know.
Is there like a German mafia around Sierra Vista?
I don't know.
Maybe the place is a front.
A lot of people like retire in, these warmer climes, and it's cheaper to live in some place like, Sierra Vista, Douglas, Benson, Bisbee than it is to live in like Tucson and Scottsdale, especially. It's really expensive. And it's the
Probably
climate.
the espionage thing. They're stealing plans from the military base, and you were there, and that's what they're talking about. Why is he here? And they go, I don't know. No one's ever come in here before.
I had to go next door to get a sandwich to make him. Well, the jig is up. I'm gonna go back next time and try. The problem is that I think I've said this before. I always try and get potato salad and coleslaw at different delicatessens just because I really can never find one that tastes good. It's always off. Like German potato salad is different than American potato salad because German potato salad is sour and American has a kind of a sweetness, but also the mustard. And they fell down on that. So it might be a front. You might be right, Becker.
I think you might be in trouble.
They were surprised by my walking in. Foot traffic surprised them. They had to scramble to make my sandwich. It definitely upset one of the covert agents that came in. And the potato salad was not very Germanish.
You were lucky to get out of there of your life.
Yeah. They're back there putting on the silencer as I scoot out the chair to leave. He does not know how lucky he was.
I hope he does not come back.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Nope. I'm going to go do a gyrocopter this week and some other things, and then be headed back to our house, and we'll have more stories next week.
Get something for your fucking camera. Don't go up there and not take pictures, man.
No, 100%.
Sneak
got
it, Becker. I'm sure
you
got
should
some.
do a flyby of the crocodile bridge. just buzz the crocs.
I wonder if drones are really popular right there.
You didn't bring a drone down there, Becker? You have a
No, I didn't. I was gonna at the last minute, and then I went, fuck it, I'm not doing it. I got a GoPro and helium balloons. I'm good.
Okay.
All right, you've listened to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker, sitting in a bus in Costa Rica.
Where did you find the bus?
Well, that's how big the palace is that he's in. He could actually be in a bus, inside the bathroom, inside the palace in
They
Subaru.
drive you right into the bathroom. It's amazing.
All out.
I'm John Norris, staring at the mountains in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm Ggreg Chaille in Bisbee, Arizona.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Ggreg Chaille.
Thank you.